We are now a year plus into the COVID-19 global pandemic. People are quarantining away from loved ones, are mandated to wear masks until at least 2022. Basic human touch and interfacing has been replaced with social distancing, and things such as travel for personal reasons is condemned and just not possible. How are you feeling about the pandemic, the measures we're taking, and if you could travel, would you and where would you go?
I do all the time.
Well, yeah, you do for work, things like that. For me, like even though I work for an airline, I don't travel as much anymore because people look at you weird. And I want to I want to enjoy myself, whatever. But you just get those weird looks. Oh, why are you traveling? There's a pandemic. You might bring something along. Blah blah blah. Like my stepmom would freak out. She's like, oh, you're going here. Oh, I have to be careful. So I don't get my parents sick. And I'm like, look, like, it's okay. Like I wear my mask. Other stuff, whatever. It's gonna be good and gravy. But people are so fucking paranoid about it. It makes me uncomfortable to travel.
I've traveled.
Oh, I've traveled too. Don't get it twisted. But like,
I feel bad for saying it. I feel bad for saying it, but I have traveled.
Like I've only traveled like up until June. I traveled like as if it was normal. You know what I mean? Like I would normally do. If I want to go fly someplace, I would. After that, usually it's when I want to go see family, or when there's a special situation where I'm invited to go somewhere. That's the only time I would travel outside of that.
I went to Mexico and I had a great time. Me too, girl. I had a wonderful week in Mexico and it was hot.
Y'all ain't shit. Like,
I'm just glad I'm not the only one. Look,
y'all ain't shit.
I've taken every precaution that I feel like I could take, but I was starting to go a little crazy. I think we all. It's just been tough, and I needed it.
That's
so
fair.
I've got a question. Did you feel safer in Mexico than you did here?
I actually felt
safer there.
I actually did.
I swear, when I tell you, they made you sanitize, they made you step into the bucket of not the bucket, but like the little, foot tray so that you can get whatever is off your shoes. Mm-hmm. They sprayed you with sanitizer. They took temperatures every place that you went into. The masks were fully enforced. I felt safer in Mexico than I did in Arizona, where I'm looking around and you guys are crowded into a sports bar with no mask on.
Oh my gosh. It's just as bad. It's not. I don't think it's that bad because I haven't been to a bar or anything. The only thing that I don't do stuff like that, but I have traveled. And when we did travel, we were it was the group of people that I was with, and we were together with everything that we did. We weren't really, like, we rented like we got a boat and everything, but it was ours. We had someone driving it, of course, but everything that we did, we tried to do things where it was just the group of us. Mm-hmm. So we were pretty safe.
See, like, it depends, I guess, on where you travel. Because I remember I went to Florida. Shit, all bets were off. I went in September. I went to Fort Lauderdale and then to Miami. Masks were not enforced. You didn't have to wear them. I went down there again when I voted, and depending on where you were in Orlando, people were wearing masks or people weren't wearing masks. When I went down to Phoenix in May, when I saw you, Brittany, when I saw my family for my sister's birthdays, a lot of people weren't wearing masks. They were just, all freewheeling and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Because in Boston, they shut that shit down with the quickness. Like,
I haven't seen any bars, or I've seen people standing outside of bars, but I'm not sure of it. But I was driving past, so I'm not really sure.
You probably saw me because my drunk ass needs to be at a bar. I'm like, yo.
Joanne, have you seen like a lot of gatherings at bars here?
Most people wear masks. Affiliates is citizen enforcing things like you put your mask on. Why don't you have a mask on? If you want to fight, put a mask on. So, yeah.
I haven't seen much gatherings at like bars.
Yeah. You guys should come down to Phoenix. I kid you not. You have to wear a mask to get in.
That's completely shut down.
Oh, nah. Over here, you have to wear a mask to get in.
Yep.
The moment you get in and get to your table, you can take it off. And
wow.
So there's some places still have it where you have to be a table away from people. The rest of them, it's like a free-for-all. You can walk in. You can, you know, you're be standing up, do this, do that.
Oh
And
no,
I'm just
no.
looking like,
Yeah, because like when we
Now
went to
restaurants, they are letting you take your. If you go to the restroom, you have to put. If you leave your table, you have to put your mask back on. And
Yeah.
they don't they have you. There are only a few tables open in the restaurants that I've been in, so it's not like packed.
And see, for us, like we have indoor dining now, but we can only operate at 40%. So it's not really indoor dining. It's like, you know, spot dating. But like
Okay.
I remember when
that's how it is here too. But I'm not sure what the percentage is.
But I remember when we went to what brunch, Brittany, when I was just there this weekend, like you were standing at our table facing us, and they still made you put a mask on.
I was pissed at that. And that's why I think I got as upset as I was, because I'm like, of all the places for you guys to finally enforce wear a mask if you're standing, it's at my table.
Like she was literally facing us, her back was to everybody else, and they're like, "Oh man, you need to put your mask on." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like it made like honestly, I feel like a lot of people they're not fan of the mask, things like that, whatever. But if you notice, like people haven't gotten the flu this year either, really. So like, you know, the people have this issue, you know, people on the Republican side, the masks don't work, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, no, the masks do work. People aren't wearing them properly for one because they don't cover their noses, they don't cover their mouth.
I don't get that.
And then they're not social distancing, and then you know people are like, oh well, you know, it's not a big deal. Only, you know, how many people in the world have died of COVID? 2.6 million people died of COVID. And there's billions of people in the world. I'm like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because like you can run down the list. Like you look at the Spanish flu in 1918, another global pandemic, 500 million cases, 17 to 100 million people died. From February 1918 to April 1920, it's like, yo, this has only been a year and some change, whatever. That's that many deaths already, and this is with 100 more years of technology and advances in health and sciences, and people are dying at this rate. People aren't thinking properly, and the fact that our population is so much larger than it was back then, and like this hits kind of the same way. You look at, you know, the history of, you know, pandemics. This is the fourth highest global pandemic and fatalities in human history. Like, this is nothing to sneeze at. Is it as bad as HIV/AIDS? No, it's not. Is it as bad as, you know, the plague of Justinian or the Black Death? No, it's not. But it's still pretty bad, and I think people should start taking it more seriously. That being said,
it's so new.
Yeah, but that being said, I'm losing my fucking mind. Like, I'm a hermit. I don't like going out. I don't like doing anything with anybody. But I like having the option of saying I don't want to do it.
Thank you.
And
like, same here. I don't want to go anywhere, but if you invite me someplace, I have no excuse now. I can't say, oh, I'm going somewhere else, or I won't be in town or something. Like, Brittany, you're just sitting on your ass at home. Why don't you come out?
Like, it's tough because, you know, the one thing I hate is like, oh, you know, when you're adults, you can do whatever you want. I'm like, I feel like I'm a child again. Like, you're dictating to me. I can't hug people. I can't give people handshakes. I have to bump elbows and shit. I'm like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? For me,
I miss hugs.
Me too. Oh my god. Like, it's crazy. Like the most basic human things. Like, I miss hugs, and I don't even like people hugging me. I don't like people touching me, and I miss hugs. I miss handshakes. I miss dap. I miss fist bumps. I miss all that shit. Like, you could be my enemy right now. I'm like, fuck, give me a hug, bro. Like, it's just like...
Do any of you guys plan on getting the vaccine?
Not unless I can have to because of travel.
Like, if it's required for work or something like that, or travel, I'll do it. But, like, honestly, no, because one of my coworkers got the vaccine, and she's sick as a dog right now.
Yeah. Some people are having different effects, but I wonder if it's the whichever vaccine, which I wonder which vaccine is causing people to.
Well, here's the thing about vaccines. Like, vaccines usually take 4 years to make, and, you know, and to be properly, you know, channeled and vetted, so on and so forth, whatever. We've been in the pandemic for less than 2. So for me, it's one of those things where it's like, look, I'm glad you put it out so quickly. God bless you. You did the Lord's work.
Has it been approved by the FDA?
I think so. But, like, whether it's approved or not doesn't mean it's going to be effective. And it's like, for me, like, I don't want to take a chance on new science that may or may not work. You know, you get a flu shot because, you know, you've tried and tested, you know, over decades, so you know what it's going to do. it's been less than 2 years. I don't know how my body's going to react to something like that, especially since I already have a deficit with my lungs because I'm asthmatic.
Right.
Isn't it listed as experimental? All the vaccines?
Not sure. I don't plan on getting it. Hopefully they don't make you. Hopefully you don't have to take it to travel.
Well,
because I just really don't plan on
well, something
at
just
least for another 2 or 3.
Unless it gets signed into federal law nationwide, do not take a lot of lobbying.
The ABC News actually just put out an article a few hours ago saying that the Pfizer vaccine, which is the original one that we were getting, whatever, shows 94% effectiveness. So, like, you know, again, for me, I want to make this very, very clear. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. You know what I mean? That's not. I don't want to put that out there in the world. But for me, I just want more science behind it first, unless it's required for me to take the vaccine. I'll still take my tetanus shot. I'll still take a polio vaccine because I'm not trying to walk around with a fucked up leg, but I'm not really feeling. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling the COVID one until it's mandatory or I'm 100% sure it's going to work.
I don't blame you. It's kind of it's an experiment right now.
I have a lot to lose. Again, I'm asthmatic and I've had pleurisy, which is, you know, another like infection attack on the lungs. Like my shit is fucked up. So like one fell swoop and this thing gets me sick. It's over for me. So I'm like I want to be very, very clear on what's happening.
Yeah.
It's like I miss like being able to say I don't want to go here. Like instead, like now it's just like, oh well, I can't because of COVID. Oh, don't breathe near me. Oh, you know, it's like, fuck, like. And then people lose their shit with the fucking mask. Like some dude in the subway say, like, he didn't have a mask on, whatever. Some white guy, and somebody was like, "You can put your mask on." He's like, "Shut the fuck up! I do the fuck I want." Blah blah blah. And he called this dude a dumb nigga. I was like, "Oh, all this over a mask?"
Oh my.
I was like, "Damn!" It's like, is somebody asking you to put your mask on that much of a situation? Then of course all these fucking Karens. Like when the shit first happened, I don't want to wear a mask. Believe me, I'm right there with you. Because my thing's like this: when it comes to COVID, whatever, you pay on the front and you pay on the back end. I can't breathe with the mask on. If I get COVID, I won't be able to breathe later. You know, they're like, oh, I don't want to wear a mask, blah blah blah. I'm like, fine, you don't have to. Then people take it to the extreme, fucking come in body fucking biosuits and shit like that, and like, bye. But this has been a mess, and I'm like, damn, like I'm not a fucking leper.
Right.
Like, you know, I get, you know, the reasoning behind it, but it's like, yo, like. It's doing a damage on people's mental health, and it's just crazy.
It is. It really is. I don't know when we'll get back to
normal,
or what the new normal looks like.
Let me tell you something. I'm just salty because last year I saved $5,000 and shit to go to fucking Europe for my birthday, and Italy in particular. Either I was going to go to Italy or I was going to move back to Phoenix. One of those two things were going to happen. Because of all this fuckery and all this bitchcraft. Guess where I spent my birthday? Not in Italy.
So at least somewhere fun?
It was fun, don't get me wrong, but still, it wasn't in Italy. Like, Brittany knows, I've been talking about going to Italy for the past 12 years. And it looked like I finally had my fucking chance. And these bitches like, oh, we're not open yet. Fuck you, okay? Like, that makes, I'm getting mad all over again. I'm getting mad all over again. I need to take a breath for a second. Y'all need to continue this conversation, like.
Michael, if you don't get your passport...
I would have had it by then.
Passport and then you can be.
Wait, Michael, are you?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. So let me break this down.
You don't even have a passport?
No. I'm like, what's the point of me getting a passport if I can't go nowhere? Because like
you can't go on a rant like that.
Yeah, actually, I can.
Saved up to $5,000 is not a passport, bro.
Yeah, but again, like, no.
You still gotta wait 2 weeks after you
Yeah, wait 2 weeks for the passport. That's fine. But hold up. I plan.
It's taking people 6 months to get their passports right now.
You better get better
now. But I'm saying this. But you guys are not hearing me. You guys are not hearing me. Well, hold up. Wait a minute. No. Let me say this. When I had this plan set in place, this is a 2019 going to 2020. I figured out where I wanted to go, how it was going to be, how much it was going to cost. All I had to do was buy the passport. So you can imagine my surprise when it's not. My birthday's in December. My birthday's on fucking Christmas at the end of the year. So you can imagine my surprise that by the first 4 months of the year, they're telling me right now it's not a possibility for you to go anywhere in Italy for until at least 2021. So for me, I don't want to go anywhere else other than Italy right now. So there's no point in me buying a passport, getting a passport, when I don't plan on going anywhere else but that one place at that moment in time. My energies and my thoughts and my wants were geared to that one country. Like the other ones are, I'm sure, are fabulous. I'd love to get stamps one day, but that's not where my heart was set. So to hear basically in the first quarter of the year you're not going there, I just couldn't be bothered anymore. And that's a fair. I think it's a fair way to feel about it. Because honestly, if it's only take me a couple weeks to get the fucking passport anyway, and I find this out in April and May, I can't go. I'm like, what's the point of spending the money and spending the time?
Well, if you get it now, you can go next year for your birthday.
Fuck that. I'm over it now. I'm like.
I'm trying to make it better.
That's what I keep saying. Get your passport now, Michael, so that this December there's even an option of doing something.
Yeah.
I don't want it anymore.
I mean, even if it means Cancun.
No.
If it means Canada.
No.
If it means, I don't know, Greece.
Jamaica. Everybody loves Jamaica, Michael.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. Okay.
I'm going to Century when I get a chance.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. Okay.
Oh,
And I want to go.
I've never been, but I want to go.
I want to go to Fair too.
Here's the thing. For me, I had a goal in mind. I wanted to go to Italy before my 30th birthday. I am now 30. So, fuck going to other countries right now. Fuck Mexico.
No, Michael, you
fuck
have
all
a
that.
lot more living to do.
I'm upset.
You got a lot more birthdays to come.
I'm upset. Okay?
And there's a whole lot of Italy to see.
Yes.
I feel like in Boston, you really don't want to go anywhere?
Look, right now, I'm just devastated. Let me have my moment. It's only been 3 months, okay? I've only been 30 since December, okay? Let me have my situation. I'll get over it eventually, but not tomorrow.
Okay.
Shit.
We'll let you have it this time.
And while Michael's on his thing, where would you guys go if there was going on?
Jamaica.
I'm upset. I need to take a breather. Go ahead.
Somewhere I would go there. It's locked down.
Yeah. If it wasn't locked down, if there was no pandemic, where would you be right now?
I wouldn't say right now, but I definitely have plans on going to Japan.
My dream was deferred, damn it.
And I'm going to Jamaica in May.
I'm going in July. Oh no, Bali. Bali is my dream place. I want to go there.
Bali, yo. So one of my friends just said she was going to Bali. I'm just like, is it a girlish trip? I want to come.
It is beautiful, man. It's beautiful there.
I think that my dream, one of my dream places is Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia and the Maldives. The Badu Islands in the Maldives, south of Dubai.
Yeah. If I had the money, I would do the Maldives. That's a lot, though. I think the one that I looked up was a cabin on the water next to that beautiful swing, and I want to say it was $2,000, $3,000 a night.
God damn.
Right. It's like, if you want to go there and have a good time, you gotta at least spend $12,000-$15,000.
Psych.
And not even
that's
get
just a stay. That's just sweet.
Maldives. Isn't that by Sri Lanka?
It's south of Dubai.
Because it's by India, isn't it?
No. Is it?
I'm asking. I don't know. I never took a geography class, but I think it's in the Chagos archipelago.
Dubai. It's like a man-made island. It's
in South Asia.
Is it South Asia? Then
I think it's in the Chago archipelago, but I'm not sure. I have to look that up.
Off the coast of India, near Sri Lanka.
I'm wrong as shit.
I was right. Shit.
Yes, you're right, Michael. I'm looking at a map right now.
Okay. Yep, I see it.
Yes.
I had to look it up.
Yeah,
That's a long flight.
all I want is my fucking Italy trip. So that needs to be a thing. Do we have anything else to add on this subject before I get wound up again?
Get your passport.
Get your passport.
And on that note, we're in the conversation right there. I'll get my fucking passport later on. Bye.
Michael, I need you to get your passport so I can go somewhere for my birthday.
Okay, fine.